Alright guys, so here's the review of the Seestern Snowflake Monster Homage. So this is actually the second Monster Homage I've checked out. The previous one was from Homage, but that wasn't the Snowflake dial. But as soon as I got contacted about reviewing this one, I saw that Snowflake dial, I just had to check it out because it looked brilliant in the pictures. So I wanted to see if it matched up in real life. Also, if you don't like the Snowflake dial, they also have some pretty interesting dial options other than that one. But we'll talk about that as we get into the review. So full disclosure, I was sent the watch for free. I actually get to keep it, don't have to send it back, but you know the score. Going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. So question is, are you going to like this one? Are you going to like any of the others? How does it match up to the Homage? Let's get down to it and find out. So this is the packaging it comes in. The usual hard case that you get with a lot of dive watches on AliExpress now. They are good. They do protect the watch well. And then you got branding on the top there. So you've actually got quite a bit in here. So pop the watch to one side for a second. So we've got the links I've taken out. Then you've got a spring bar removal tool, which is always handy to have. Then you've actually got a tool to remove the links, because this is a push pin system. Little Seestern tag. Then we've got the instruction manual for all the brands that are under this kind of umbrella. And then we've got the warranty card, which is not signed or dated. And here's the watch itself. So as I said, I've got the Snowflake dial option. They do have a few others. So they've got an orange one, a teal one, a faded blue one, blue streak, well dark blue streak I think it is, and a fully loomed one. I'll probably leave pictures on screen so you can see what they're all like. As I say, some interesting ones there, as well as the usual suspects. So if you want a bit of an interesting dial option, you probably want to go for this one, or possibly that blue streak, or just the fully loomed one maybe. Let's check out the dimensions. So we've got 42mm diameter, 13.1mm thick. It actually says on the listing it's 14, so it's good that it is actually a bit thinner than that. Then we've got 20mm lug width, and then the all important lug to lug, because we've got links that just drop straight down, no protruding male end link. The actual lug to lug is 47.7. So for the size of watch, that's actually pretty good. So it will help it wear a bit better on wrist than you'd expect given the 42mm diameter. Let's get a zoom in and talk about this dial. So as I said, this is the Snowflake option, and I think it does look really good. I'll probably try and leave some macro shots in to show you exactly what it's like, but hopefully you can get an idea from this. There's a really nice texture to it, really cool look. And I do like the chapter ring on these as well. The way the indices are inset into it. And the jut out. And it's all really nicely finished as well. No obvious issues, no alignment issues, all nicely finished. Same with the hands, nice high polish on them. And we've got plenty of lume on all of that, but we'll check that out in a bit, because the lume on this is actually pretty cool. With a little extra bonus as well. But as for the actual branding, you've got the Seestern at the top there, then the automatic and 200 meters at the bottom, all printed, nothing applied there. So I'm going to zoom back out. We'll talk about the rest of it. So we've got a fully brushed case with little polished details in certain parts, like on these little bits on the inside here. Same with the bezel, got a polished edge, brushed top. Really nice grip on that crown as well. It is signed as well, with the Seestern. And we've got drilled lugs too, which is always good. When it comes to the bracelet, it's more or less fully brushed. Again, with polished details on those centre links and on the outside as well. And as I said earlier, it is push pins. When it comes to the clasp, got a nice signed one. Fairly basic, but we've got the double pushers, milled clasp. And then we've got that nice Kanagawa wave on the back with the actual Seestern just popped in there as well. Just to give it a little bit of character. And then you can see we've got SE Monster, automatic movement, all stainless steel, water resistant, 200 meters, and sapphire. And it's a screw down case back as well. But now let's check whether it is sapphire crystal. Using the trusty diamond selector too. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal. So that's always good. Not got to worry about it getting scratched. So now let's talk about the bezel on this. So it's 120 click. It's got a nice action. It's got a tiny bit of back play, but not really a great deal. About half a click maybe. One thing to be aware of though, these bits here are touch sharp. So when you're turning this, you can sometimes catch your finger on there and it can be a little bit uncomfortable. So something to be aware of. Same with the bottom one obviously. When it comes to alignment, bang on though. So that's always good. Not got to worry about that. Let's talk about the movement. So you can see we've got the day date there. So we've got the NH36. So we've got that really nice grippy crown, which is really good, really easy to use. Unscrew it. Pop it out once. Then we can change the date, well the day. Turn it the other way, change the date. Pop it out again. Second hand stops, we'll go hacking. And then obviously we can change the time. Pop it back in, second hand re-engages. And then screw it back down. Again, as with the bezel bit here, when you're screwing this back in, this can be a little bit sharp occasionally, depending on how you catch it. Not as bad as this bit, but just something to be aware of. So you can probably see we've got a decent amount of AR on this, because I'm not getting the kind of glare I get with some watches whilst filming in here. So I do like that a lot, helps you see this lovely dial. And something else that helps you see that dial is the Lume, so let's check that out. So you can see we've got a bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a proper chance. And there we go. And as I said, really impressive Lume on this. As you can see, we've got it on the day date complication as well, which is a really nice touch. Do like that a lot. So we've got BGW9 across everything. Although on the camera it is coming up slightly green on some bits, but it is actually BGW9 on all of it. As I say, sometimes my camera can be a little bit funny with the colours of the Lume on these videos, don't know why. But really impressive Lume, no patchiness at all. If I'm being a little bit nitpicky, the actual date complication section is slightly less bright than the rest of it, but not by much. And as I say, that is a bonus anyway. So having any on there at all is just really nice. And because you've got such a large surface area on those hands and indices, it lasts a really good amount of time as well. So really impressive Lume. So all that's left to do now is show you what it's like on wrist, and then we'll wrap this up. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. And as I said, despite having that fairly large 42mm diameter, because it's got a compact lug to lug, wears really nicely on my wrist. If you've got a smaller than 7-inch wrist, it might be a touch on the large side. But obviously if you've got a bigger wrist, not an issue at all. But I think anything 7 and above would be perfectly fine. And I do like the way the light catches the few little polished details it's got on the bezel and the side of the case, as well as these mid links. Just adds a little bit of interest, and I absolutely love that dial as well. But again, if you don't like this one, they have other options, so you're bound to find something that you do like. And if you do want to pick one up, links are down in the description as always. I get a little bit of commission from that, helps support the channel. So I would appreciate that if you do pick one up, you do use those links. Same with all the other videos. And if you want to check out another video I've done on that other Heimdallr monster, I'll leave a link to that at the end. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.